Hey guys, we are here to review for your first Unit 2 quiz. So we're working on the horizontal asymptotes first. So here we go. Notice here my degree on top is a 1 and on bottom it's a 1. So that means they match. So my horizontal asymptote is just 4 divided by 5. Okay. Now, here, when they do not match, remember we need to make a match. So x squared is the biggest, so I'm going to add the square here. And now we have the matching. And so my horizontal asymptote is, remember, understood 1, 0 over 1, which is there is no horizontal asymptotes. Okay. In the last one of this section, we have an x squared on top, no x squared on bottom, so we're going to make an x squared. And so horizontal, understood 1 on top, 0 on the bottom. Ooh, I got this backwards. This should be 0, and this should be NA. I am so sorry about that, but at least I caught myself, right? Yeah, 0 on the top is 0, 0 on the bottom is NA. So sorry for that. Okay, now here we go. Now looking at number 4, we're now in the vertical asymptote section. Let's keep going with different colors. Okay, so do I have, and this one's already factored for us, so this is what we like to call nice. So notice I have two different, I don't have any common factors on top and on bottom. So that means for my vertical, we're going to set x minus 4 equal to 0 and x minus 2 equal to 0. So add 4, so x equals 4, and then add 2, x equals 2. So we have these two values. Okay. Now, before we start to do something crazy here, notice we have two terms at the bottom that have an x. So I'm going to take out an x, and I'm left with x minus 25. Okay, and I'm going to hide that away. Do I have a common factor on top and on bottom? Answer is no, we do not. So for my vertical, we're going to take x equal to 0 and x minus 25 equal to 0. Okay, so here, the first one is already solved for x. Here, we just have to add to 25. So we get x equals 25. Okay, now, here we go. We have to factor the top and bottom, so this is the difference of squares. Remember, if you don't like it written like this on top, you can rewrite it as x squared plus 0x minus 16. Okay, and that would be x plus 4 and x minus 4. Okay, now on the bottom, we got a factor. And please be careful, 4 times what gives us 1, which is 4, so it'd be x plus 4 and x plus 1. Now here's where I have a hole, and they're not asking for a hole, but this is a hole. So that means my vertical asymptote here is just going to be x plus 1, set it equal to 0, and solve. Okay, and there's my answer. Okay, so now let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and change to a new sheet of paper. We're now into the holes. So number 7. We have x cubed plus x squared minus 6x over negative 4x squared plus 12. Okay, so first things first. Notice we have 3 things that have an x attached to on the top. So let's do this. We're going to pull out an x. Okay, so when I do that, I'm left with x squared plus x minus 6. Okay, now we can factor this some more. So what times what gives me 6? when I subtract, I get 1. So that would be x plus 3 and x minus 2. Okay. Now looking down here at the bottom, they also have an x and a negative 4. So what I'm going to do is take out a negative 4x here. So negative 4x. So that just leaves me with an x. And this here turns into a minus 3. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this over here. So negative 4x and x minus 3. Now, do we have any common factors? And please be careful. This is an x plus 3. This is an x plus 3 and an x minus 3. They're not the same. So I only have a whole. I'm going to use this right here. Different color is right there. I have that common x. So, whoops, my wholes is x equals 0. And there's my whole. And I really probably should have just done it this way and ignored the 4. Okay. Let's look at number 8. X squared minus 2x minus 8 over x squared minus x minus 6. Okay. Factor the top. What two numbers multiply to give me 8? That's subtract to give me negative 2, and that's x minus 4 and x plus 2. Bottom, it's almost something we did on top, but what times what gives me 6? When subtract, I get a negative 1. So x minus 3 and x plus 2. Notice right here we have a common factor. So that's going to be our whole. So x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals negative 2. Okay. Last but not least of this section, number 9. X plus 1 over negative 3x minus 3. Okay. So here we go. We cannot do anything with the top. Okay. So we're going to leave x plus 1 alone. But notice down here, we have a negative 3 in both. So what I can do is factor out that negative 3. And if I do, I'm left with x plus 1. And notice I have an x plus 1 on top and on bottom. So I have a whole now at x plus 1. Set it equal to 0 and subtract 1. So we get x equals negative 1. Okay, I hope this has helped. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.